On this episode of RCKicks, we clean and line up lots of expensive plastic. Rebecca laughs at my misfortune.
Hi, welcome to RCKicks.
We build something sexy and throw in a bit of bling. Rebecca does her best zombie impression. Gav tries to hold his nerve while slapping on overpriced decals. And Rebecca gets foxed by a cleaning product.
So we're going to be using this to clean them. What's that called?
It's a
cleaner here. Ultrasonic cleaner.
We take an old girl for a walk in the park. And Rebecca flips the bird.
Get on with it.
Hi, welcome to RCKicks. On today's show, we're going to be continuing with the Madcap restoration project. So the previous video, which we'll put a link to for you, we took all of the bits apart and sorted them all out. Gav has now put back together the Falcon, so I thought it was about time that I got on with the Madcap project. All the parts are sorted along the front here, ready for cleaning. We're going to be using the ultrasonic cleaner to get them all looking like brand new again. The tyres, the front two are not too bad. They're really difficult to get hold of anyway, but we'll probably try and get some replacements for the back two. They're not too difficult to get hold of. The chassis, I'm going to be cleaning by hand. I've got that to do. I've got some new parts to put on. So if you remember from the previous video, there were some broken parts. So that is those. They're ready to go on. New bumper and a few other bits there that we're going to put on. Got the electronics. Obviously they can't go in the cleaner, so I'll be cleaning those by hand. And I'm ready to go, really. So watch out for the cleaning, and then I'm going to be putting it all back together again. All the parts are beautiful and clean. You can see they've come up really, really nicely. So really pleased with those. Electronics all looking really good. While I've been busy cleaning, Gav has also been busy buying as usual. So he's sourced some front hubs and some rear tyres. Got those to put on, really good. We've got the chassis. That's come up really nicely as well. I'm going to be putting metal bearings on. Got those ready to go. And we're going to be starting on page 4 with the gearbox. Here we go. Finish the gearbox. That's all put back together. The only part that's slightly different from the manual and the original is I've put on this metal plate here. So that was instead of the plastic one. Obviously makes it a lot more stronger, but I had to modify some of the bolts. So because it's got that little bit extra depth, they needed to be a bit longer. But otherwise, no issues with that, all fine. So next part is page number 7. We're going to be using the chassis and attaching the arms onto the back. Off we go. all fitted to the back of the car. That's all done now. These high caps Gav has put on for me. So he was going to use them on his Astute, but he doesn't need them anymore. So he just wanted to make sure they fit okay, and they're fine. So we're going to go with those. The front tyres have now arrived. Got those. Back tyres we're still waiting for. So we're going to crack on with the front of the car. We're now on page 10, number 16. Off we go.
I'm running out of time, every day goes by so fast. And every moment counts, baby, I don't wanna miss a thing. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, or hang out in hotel bars, driving somewhere in your car. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, under the stars.
The car is taking shape now. Look at that, looking really good. So the front part is on. This front section here has got a bit of damage to it, but these are really hard to find. So if we do find one, we might replace it, but it looks pretty good. And the swing arms are in really good condition. Next, we're on to the steering.
Take my hand, and we don't need to do the things we don't want to do.
The steering is in, and all of the electronics have now been fitted into the car. I need to get a new resistor cover. This one's quite worn out, so we're going to be ordering a new one of those. And next up, it's going to be the front suspension. It's on to the next part. So that will be painting up the body and doing the decals. So I'm going to get Gav to do this part because I'm not very good at the painting. We have the red PS2, which we use for the spoiler. We've got PS1, which is the main part of the body. The black PS5 is for this black window here at the back. On to the next part.
Right, so Rebecca's finished her Madcap build. She did a great job, actually. Basically, I just helped her with the gearbox and the high caps, because trying to mount the high caps, you have to do it slightly differently than the stock one. So I had to source through my parts bin to find the correct mounting ball joints, whatever you want to call them. I still reckon we need to try and find an upright. This one's okay, but I'd like to put a mint one on it if I could. But yeah, so it's all set, ready to go. So now it means it's my time to jump on and do the body. Now, I was lucky enough to find a brand new original body kit and decals and everything. So like Rebecca said before, one thing I'm going to do different is I'm not going to use the stickers. Originally, you're supposed to spray this bit black and then blow the whole lot in white and then use the stickers to cover the windows, but they always lift and then they look tatty. So I'm not going to do that. The plan is I'm just going to mask them all off. I'm going to then spray it white. Then I'm going to use smoke on it, and then I'm going to use these decals, cut out the little black line and fit it round the edge. So it will look almost the same, but it just won't have a sticker. It's a original body, so I thought that'd be a better way to go, really. And then we've got to paint the rear spoiler. That's pretty straightforward, one colour all the way through. So first things first, I've got to cut it out, sand down the edges and make sure I get it all nice and make it fit. Now, I don't know if there's actually a protective film on the top of this. It doesn't actually look like it, so maybe I'll have to be a bit more careful when I actually paint it. Otherwise, I'm going to be spending ages getting paint off it. Right, let's cut it out. Well, that's the body painted, and I made a right mess of it. What happened was that I didn't have the mask for the windows, so I made it. And the way I made it is I put sellotape, masking tape on the outside, and then you draw around it and then cut it out. Now, I used a biro to do that. Then what happened was when I cut it out, there was still some biro on the edge. When I put it inside, when I first painted it white, the biro bled all the way around and I had a blue halo of the pen mark. So I'd pretty much ruined it. So I had to take the window mask out. I had to then remove all the paint around the window. Then I had to create a new mask, and I used pencil this time. And then I put it back in again, and then I painted the whole thing. Not only that, but I also had some reactions in certain areas, so I had to remove the paint from those areas. There's about 5 of them. Even though I'd washed the body just like I normally do, there was fish eyes going on. So that put probably an extra 2 hours onto my very basic body painting. But in the end, I saved the body and it all came out fine. What I didn't notice is there's a few light scratches on the outside. I guess this is just from it being in its box for a long time, and also when it's face down it's probably scratched it slightly, so I've got to try and cut those out or polish those out. They're only light ones, but being that the body's mint, I don't want to have a couple of little light scratches, so I've got to sort that out. Apart from that, it finally came out okay. No problems with the wing at all. I backed it in white as well to make it nice and vibrant. The black didn't give me any problems at all. I had a little bit of bleed through on the black, but it was really easy to clean that up, so there's no problems there. So what was a simple body turned into be a bit of a faff, and being that it's actually a proper original body, I didn't want to write it off, so it was worth the effort. Finally, after many hours of work, I've got all the decals on and it's all finished. Well, when I say all finished, it's pretty close. The original body came out great and the original decals all went on really nicely. So happy with that. My smoked cockpit window worked out really well, and I managed to cut out the edge as well. It didn't really need it, but hey, I had it, so I did that. So no problems there. Now, as you can tell, I'm still waiting on rear tyres. The bulkhead, I've managed to find a replacement bulkhead, so that's coming. As soon as that arrives, I'll swap it out. This one's got a few hairline cracks, so I wasn't happy with it. It's fine, it'll run, but when you're trying to restore it, you don't want any really weak points. So there you go. The receiver that was in the car has failed, the original one, so I will source another original one, but for now I've put in my own receiver because it's all fully functioning and I wanted to take it out to blast it around the garden. So let's see how well she runs for an old girl.
Well, it's all finished, ready to run. The Madcap turned out really well. So cleaned up really, really well. The body, the decals, I think you did a great job with those.
Yeah, it came out lovely.
Really nice. The shocks look good on it. I'm really pleased. Turned out a lot better than I expected.
Yeah, it's quite a pretty buggy actually. It's for an entry-level buggy, when you look at it on the internet and you look at photos, it's kind of, but in real life, once you start putting it back together again, it actually really pops, doesn't it? I was quite impressed with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's better than I expected it to be for an entry buggy.
And we've given it a run around the garden, working really well.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Obviously, we've got a few bits and pieces still to go.
Yeah.
That are on order. So once they arrive, we'll fit them on and it'll be 100% perfect. Yeah, cool. Right, thanks very much. Please like and subscribe. And if you'd like to support the channel, you can head over to our Patreon account. I'll put a link down here. If you'd like to make a one-off donation, I'll put an email, PayPal address here. We also have a Facebook group, RCKicks group, which has got 1,650 subscribers now. So go check them out. I'll put a link down here. Yeah, I think you did really well building the chassis. It came out really good.
Well done.
Cool. See you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye. Check out one of these RC Kicks videos for some more RC fun.